ponies of the net, I am Countess Rose, and I did promise this. So, this is something new I'm going to try, at least for a little bit. Let me know what y'all think about this. I love reading comments. So, Storytime with a speed paint. Such an original idea, isn't it? Anyway, job hunting. Everyone has to do it. No one likes to. And for everyone out there, I am sure at least 9 out of 10 of y'all have interacted with a job recruiter to at least some capacity. Now, I'm sure some of you have had wonderful experiences and found gainful employment, but that sadly isn't my case. Come and join me on the journey where I tell you the story of the worst experience I've ever had with a recruiter. I started my job hunt like any other, right after I graduated college, with a shiny new diploma under my belt, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, ready to take on the world, spamming my resume on every job board I could find. One day, while at my real job, I got a message on my LinkedIn. And for those who don't know, LinkedIn is basically Facebook for businesses. If you don't have one, I would highly recommend getting one. It was a recruiter from a company I haven't heard about before, and seeing if I would be interested in interviewing with an educational game company as an asset creator. Obviously, I was all over it, so I messaged her back saying, yes, I am very interested, and hoping to get more information on when and where. So, after a little bit of talking back and forth, we set up an interview for later that week. On the day of the interview, I go in ready to knock it out of the park, and I thought it went pretty well. I met with the recruiter as well as her manager. They discussed the job requirements and the such, telling me the next step would be meeting with the hiring manager with the game company itself. So I head out with assurance that they would get back to me within a week. 2 weeks later, I haven't heard anything, so I give the recruiter a call. Oh, before I continue, a little nugget of advice. Never leave an interview without contact information for everyone you've spoken with. Most times they'll give you their business card as soon as you sit down, but if not, don't be afraid to ask for it. It is exceedingly important because it's a lot easier than having to hunt down their phone number or email address later on. Anyway, the recruiter tells me the position requires a better understanding of coding than what I had, so I'm just like, okay, cool, I understand, I don't meet the requirements for the job. Totally understandable. So I go on my merry way. That was until a week later. I'm at work, bored out of my mind, when I get a call. It's another recruiter from the same agency, saying he found my resume and thinks I would be a perfect fit for this opening with an educational game company. I'm sitting there thinking, this is odd. Surely it's not the same position I just interviewed for, and was turned down, might I ask. But who am I to turn down an interview, so we set one up for the next day. I go in for the second interview, meet with recruiter number 2, and was about to get started when recruiter number 1 pokes her head in. She's confused, I'm confused, he's confused, we're all confused! Turns out, I was interviewing for the same position again. According to recruiter number 2, the position didn't require the ability to code, and it was primarily working in Photoshop and Illustrator. So I go through the interview process again, with assurance I would get a follow-up interview. A week later, I've heard Jack Diddley. So I call both the recruiters, hoping to follow up and end up leaving messages on both of their voicemails. I didn't hear back from them for 3 days. So I called again, and again, and again, to the point I was leaving messages for them about every other day, for a month. Seeing as I was spinning my wheels, I tried a different route and messaged them through LinkedIn. Recruiter number 1 gets back to me by the next day telling me she no longer works with the agency. Understandable. I just wish the receptionist would have said something instead of transferring me to a dead voicemail. But, okay, she doesn't work there anymore. I'll stop talking to myself. So at this point, I'm down to 1 recruiter, who I continue to try and get in contact with via phone, email, LinkedIn, etc. To all which I receive no reply. I soon learned there is actually a term for this. Ghosting. This I don't take too kindly to. I'm not fit for the job. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I understand that. I don't meet the requirements. The position has been filled. Oh well, better luck next time. I can take being told no. I don't stand for being ignored. Remember when I said get contact information for everyone you talk to? Well, I did talk with their manager during my first interview, and I had her email address. So, I shot her a quick email explaining how I've had zero contact with the recruiter that I've been trying to get in contact with for a month and a half by this point. And guess who emails me back? Not 20 minutes later. Recruiter number 2. Telling me that the game company had put the job posting on hold. Thank you, my good sir. That would have been wonderful information to know a month ago. So yeah, I don't like recruiting agencies. I have had zero headway with them, and I've found them exceedingly time-consuming to the point of tedium. Now, I'm sure I might just be one of the weird ones that I just don't do well with recruiting agencies. I'm an odd duck, I get that. But I think it might just be the industry itself, because I have actually talked to other professionals, and they have told me flat out they have never had any headway with recruiting agencies. There was actually one that I will not name, that I was actually named specifically by a woman I talked with at a convention to not even bother with them. She has never met anyone who has gotten a job through this certain recruiter agency. And I believe that, seeing fact I personally applied to probably about 300 job postings with them and have gotten no callback on any. And I know I'm not the best at my craft, but I think I'm at least decent. But I don't know, I might just be crazy. So in short, I find recruiting agencies a waste of time. If y'all have better luck with them, more power to ya. I personally have found more meaningful and lasting employment through just good old-fashioned networking. And I'm going to let y'all in on a secret that I use, because networking can be hard, especially if you're in a new city and you don't know many people. There's always an app for that. I personally use this one app called Shaper, and this isn't endorsed, but it is by far the best thing that I ever downloaded on my phone. I've gotten more jobs through it, made more connections, and met so many more interesting people than sitting in a waiting room waiting for a recruiter to call me into their office and to never hear from them again. And it just goes back to what my dad has always told me since I was really little. It's not what you know, it's who you know. So yeah, maybe not the funnest topic, but it's at least one of the most interesting ones I've ever had to deal with. So, if y'all like these stories, or if y'all want to hear more of me just yammering, leave suggestions for like story ideas that you would like me to talk about, like any experiences you have questions about or anything like that. So just pop them down in the comment section below. I love reading comments. If you like this, like, share, subscribe, all of that good fun YouTube stuff. And until next time, guys, I'm Countess Rose. Bye bye!